What the hell is this place anyway?
Leon, seguro que has llegado antes.
Son, Resident Evil 2. Always looking for more excuses to play Resident Evil 2. And I saw this nifty Claire Gunslinger mod. So I decided I wanted to play through the game using it. And the only appropriate way to do it would be to only use the revolver. And I know what you're thinking. I can hear you screaming at your monitors. But Uncle Tenfei, isn't Sheriff Redfield currently holding a revolver? Ah, so naive, son. I don't mean this fancified, modern city folk revolver. It don't even have a hammer to fan. No, that's the last time that will ever touch Claire Redfield's hands. Nah, there's only one gun that Revolver Ocelot respects. And so it's the only one we're going to use throughout this playthrough.
¡Leon!
¡Claire! ¡Espera! ¡Enseguida voy!
¡Vale!
Claire. Me alegro de verte.
¿Cómo estás? Ese helicóptero salió de la nada.
All right, I'm not going to watch all the cutscenes. I just wanted to see a Deputy Leon get a feel for how he sounded in the Espanol. All right, fat chubs, your days are numbered. Once I get my wheel gun, my shooting iron, they locked it in here. And they put a sigil of Brad Vickers in the room with it to try to seal its power, but they couldn't do it, son. The greatest handgun ever made. Son, 6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that moves. Actually, it only comes with 5. I feel so cheated. It's like when you buy a printer and it comes with like that little temporary ink cartridge. Slap that additional bullet in there. All right, so dead to me. Storing some shit. Oh, by the way, grenades and knives aren't guns, so they're not limited. This is the equivalent of when I do one of my standard issue Dark Souls runs, and I'm allowed to use like all the consumables and rings I want. So grenades and knives are like the rings and humanities of Dark Souls. All right. Now, I would love to just gun my way through this crowd, but we do need to conserve some ammunition for in-game shit. So we don't want to be too indiscriminate. Where's Fat Chubbs, by the way? I've never seen that original Fat Chubbs disappear. Whatever. We're going to lure this gentleman towards us. Dash past him. Lightly pepper this crowd with a hand grenade. And then just run through like it ain't nothing. Ha ha! Fat Chubbs, you thought you had me. It'll be a cold day in Raccoon City hell before you get your hands on Sheriff Redfield. Let this be a lesson to all of y'all. They actually just de-aggro when you come in here. Like, they won't come over here and try to knock this gate open. But if you walk in there, they'll know. Fat Chubbs was forever humbled that day. And on that day, Fat Chubbs received a grim reminder. All right, you're going to bust in here. We're going to have to make liberal use of our infinite knife to get through this challenge. I'm sure Twin Galaxies will no longer say. I'm sure Billy Mitchell will be there telling him it's invalid because I'm using this infinite knife. The infinite knife is like the modified Donkey Kong Jr. board. Son, Billy Mitchell will have nothing to do with it. The moment I upload this, a VHS is going to show up in the mail of grainy 480p footage of Billy Mitchell doing this run first. Oh, I didn't mean to use that board that I just used. Excuse me, gentleman at the window. I'm going to have to go raid Fat Chubb's secret pantry and grab this board in here. Luckily, he's not in here anymore. A scenario, Deputy Kennedy must have taken care of him. the zapping system and all that. All right, let's see. Sometimes this guy likes to hang out by the door. All right, we're good. Damn it! I almost had enough time. Whatever, I can just cut you to death. Nobody's impressed. All right, slap this board on here. And commence the knifing. You usually have more HP than that. Then there's this asshole. A flashbang grenade for me? Why ain't I just been the goodest? Oh no, I missed. The difficulty adjust. It's always the reason. Alright, we knocked him down. And we got to make sure he doesn't get up again. Okay, I'll take these weak zombies. Like I said, we can't just use our 45 ACP ammo willy-nilly, son. Cartwright. It ain't cart wrong when it's Cartwright, son. It's good advertising copy. We're going to round us up some more ammunition, and then we need to head over to the side area. Save room that Claire actually doesn't get to access in her A scenario. It's Leon's only. Go ahead and grab this, son. Somebody done poisoned the water hole in here and flooded this place. Alright, I'd say we're doing an alright job of not getting eat up. Elliot Senpai's crawling around down here. We'll go ahead and take care of him. His bulletproof vest is like a plate breast mail because it'll deflect this fucking knife. So you got to hit him on his meaty head and arms. It's like eating a lobster. Alright, I reckon I'll grab this here extra knife. We don't have any reason to board up these windows because we don't really have any reason to come back through here. I don't know much about your fancy flame rounds. They don't fit in my Colt single-action army, which means they're worthless to me. I actually want that flashbang grenade to come with me. I don't need you right this second. Okay. Okay. Blue herbs would be mighty fine. Now, unfortunately, gunpowders have no use for us. And I don't know much about submachine guns. So submachine gun ammo is also off the table. But on the plus side, we ain't got to worry about agonizing, you know, how we mix our gunpowders and such. It's you free yourself with these limitations. They say true creativity is bred from limitations, son. Why do you think I've done so many standard issue-esque runs? And even in this game, I've done the no item box, no save. Alright, out here in the main hall, we got to see if Marvin and his good friend are... Sometimes they spawn right here, and sometimes they spawn over there. Alright, looks like we got lucky. No. Habla. Sheriff Redfield. Alright, we got to be careful in here. Look at that original RE2 jump scare. Speaking of original Resident Evil 2, remember where you encounter the first Licker in Resident Evil 2? You're like, Licker, I barely know her. I appreciate your raunchy uncle jokes, but we got to deal with this motherfucker on the ceiling. If it ain't Licker the Kid. It's a terrible, like, bandit name, by the way. I'm just saying. Luckily, Lickers can be knifed. It was real nice to meet you. This hallway is not as important to board up in Claire's scenario because she approaches the evidence room or the, I don't know, the records room from a different vector. The heart key. All right. Son, we need a mod to go along with this that changes this to one of those old-timey TNT plungers. Might as well grab all the herbs and shit we see since I can use the item box. Such a rare luxury to be able to use the item box. And also to know where all the items are going to spawn since this isn't a randomizer. Ain't you crowd going to jump out and try to scare me? Even though it's not super vital to board up this hallway, we might get chased in here by Mr. X. So it would behoove us to board up at least one of them windows. Because zombies will spawn later. Zombies will be declared. Alright, in complete disregard of the zapping system, these two zombies out here will still be walking, even though I guarantee Deputy Kennedy in the A scenario probably took them down. Alright, fat chubs, reach for the sky. You're in a whole mess of trouble. Remember, kids, it's always important to miss your second shot intentionally to lower the difficulty adjust. Cold drinks. I could go for a sarsaparilla, I suppose. You know what I want? A mod that removes all this fucking furniture that, like, artificially blocks the hallway. Remember in original Resident Evil 2, you come running around here? So, I'm just saying. The good times. This man has too much HP and too many legs. And we can deal with both of those things in a certain order. If it ain't Legs Mackenzie, justice has finally tracked you down. He likes to pretend to be dead over here by the credenza. I'm going to assume as well. I'm going to assume that's a fake plant. It grew in like a deoxyribonucleic acid pattern. If only there was an acronym that summed that up. Gunpowders, huh? I don't care much for 9mm. Out on the prairie. Alright, this guy right here is a stone cold card carrying motherfucker. So we're going to try to cut his legs off, but he might grab us. And if he does, we can just... Okay, I was going to say if he does, we'll just unload in him until we can get our knife back out of him. Trying this challenge without the infinite knife would be much more difficult. I agree. Do a bit of safe cracking. 9, 15, and 7. Those numbers don't really mean much to somebody like Sheriff Claire. She don't know much about 80s and 90s of video gaming. Also, I guess 2000s, since 15's in there. People who have never watched any of my other RE2 content are probably quite confused, and justifiably so. Normally, I ignore this guy, but... Okay. I don't quite know how that played out like that. He's been thoroughly humiliated. Not since Johnny Sasaki in Metal Gear Solid had Meryl get a hold of him has somebody been so humbled in a video game. Okay. I guess we could go ahead and grab these handgun bullets from out of here. From 109. 109.5. 45 ACP in the morning. And the best Western country all day. This guy's going to bust through because it's the B scenario, and that gives him more power. But if we get over here and start cutting, I was going to say you can sometimes humble him. Now that lady's going to fall over the railing. So if you hear somebody fall like a sack of peeling potatoes, yeah, there she is. Don't get up on my account, sweetheart. Listen here, sweet cheeks. Introduce you to knife justice. I'll be taking that. Oh no, my grenade. I always forget that when you pick your knife back up, it auto-equipped whatever other items you have. That's fine. I don't need no fancy flashbang, son. That's just one less liquor for me to humble. Alright, is everybody done pissing me off? Didn't think so. I could sense animosity radiating from the floor. Divert all power to destroying the floor. Alright, there's one more zombie that sometimes... Okay, let's see if he's going to go over the edge. He did, son, when he turns his hat around like a switch. There ain't no way you died from that little bit of knife cutting, but it seems like he did. Who am I to disagree? Never interrupt your enemy when he's throwing himself off a flight of stairs. A few full heals. It's going to be a gunpowder, isn't it? Yep, but there is ink ribbons. I am going to save throughout this playthrough, because I'm guaranteed to fuck something up eventually and ruin y'all's good time. And I would never do that to y'all, son. I'd rather throw away my gamer integrity. I'd rather Mike Matei no longer look upon me with favor than to spoil y'all of the good times you deserve. Alright, I don't know which of these to save over. Let's just pick this one. Okay, we got things to do here in B scenario land. We could head straight over to the STARS office, but there's a certain ornery hombre hanging out in that hallway that we don't want to have to start dealing with, but we will go ahead and slap this valve on here. There's no reason to open any of these lockers because they just have flame rounds, and we don't need the badge. Ironically, we don't need no stinking badges when we're playing as Sheriff Redfield because it just leads to the submachine gun, which last time I checked is not a single action revolver pistol, so. Additional man spawned upstairs. I don't fucking give a care. I fucking told him. You enjoying being cut up, boy? Probably not. But what the hell do I know? Alright, another locker that don't need to be opened. No humorous acronyms, mimetic devices for Sheriff Redfield. She's no nonsense. I appreciate that they don't patronize you by having the liquor scoot by that window in the B scenario since you've already dealt with one. I guess we might as well board up the rest of those windows for completion's sake. I like to think the barometric pressure slightly altering in the room from the character entering is what makes that guy slip down every time. Also, what is the story of this guy? Was a liquor trying to drag him up there to eat? Or was he like hiding? He like got bit and then he climbed up into like, what do they call that? Drop down ceiling? It's just a good place to hide from zombies when you think about it. It's like in Night of the Living Dead. Hiding up in the attic and then he just turned into a zombie. Who the hell knows? The library. There's only one group of rustlers and ne'er-do-wells that take up residence here. The library bunch. Cue Deputy Kennedy running into the sheriff's office. He's like, Sheriff Redfield, it's terrible. The library bunch are back. I never thought I'd have to deal with them again. Hell yeah. Headshot crits are the only way you can deal with the library bunch, son. They just keep coming back. It's like putting crowd in Arkham Asylum. Batman should just stand outside the door of Arkham Asylum, and every time they go to release a prisoner, he just picks them up and throws them back over the wall and looks at the staff of Arkham and just angrily shakes his head. All right. We dealt with that crazy bitch. Now we got to deal with the ass eater. Billy the ass eater. That's his name in the library bunch. I miss Billy the ass eater. The times that he had. The life that he lived. He's real resilient. And of course, no library bunch be complete without Fat Chubs. You son of a bitch. Talk about resilient. Look, I missed one bullet, as always, intentionally. All right, Fat Chubs, give me 45 minutes to put 6 more rounds in this revolver, and I'll fucking show you. Think you're so goddamn clever. Yes, sir. Son, the zombie outbreak did this particular Fat Chubs a favor, because look at them fucking flood pants in them shoes. You ain't Milhouse Van Houten. Everything's not going to be coming up, Fat Chubs. Alright, I like to get these pre-gamed before a certain ornery individual is waffle stomping after us. Did a good job in the library. Now, we don't have to deal with that book or that red jewel because, once again, that just leads to the submachine gun. And the submachine gun leads to hate. There'll be no brothers named Kevin with a Mac 11 in this playthrough. Or, God forbid, a brother named Ben with a Mac 10. What happened to Macs 1 through 9? It's like the androids in Dragon Ball. We saw like the Android 8. Look at you two just hanging out over there. And then we jumped straight up to, what, 13, 14, and 15 from that movie where Goku gets punched in the dick. She's also up there. What's the best way to deal with this crowd? They do need to be humbled. Take that, policeman zombie, who has no particular sentimental attachment to me in the B scenario. Deputy Kennedy is upstairs on the 3rd floor watching with one tear rolling down his cheek. All right, Marvin. I'm going to send your friend here. Blarvin, we'll name him. The Tenfei historians are just now, they're just angrily sighing and updating the future Tenfei archives to include this guy, Blarvin the zombie. You almost made it down here. If you'd have put just the slightest bit of hustle, if you'd have ondelayed rebod towards me a little bit better. Gosh, just making sure none of them were still moving. Since I have more than enough bullets to kill anything that moves. Alright. So far, this has been by the book. Well, except for when I wasted that flashbang grenade, but if you play your cards right, you'll have in excess of flashbang grenades. Because spoilers, against the final Billy B, who's the main force we need to be saving ammo for, flashbang grenades aren't quite as useful. Alright, crown the flaming fat pigeon. Oh, if you're wondering about the unicorn medal I got earlier, that was the Children of the Corn's Judge the Worm contest. Can you remember what the 3rd one is? I'll give you a hint. It involves a goat playing a harp for a raven. It's a hell of a hint. Okay, good. What order do we want to do? Oh, yeah, we want to go ahead and unlock the store. Go ahead and unlock the other spade door. Look, it's important that you pre-game your RPD before you get certain unstoppable juggernauts chasing after you. Also, pay no attention to the way Claire's arms phase through her poncho. Ponchos are always nifty. We need to bring back the poncho. If only Elaine Bennis had successfully brought back or implemented the urban sombrero, we'd probably be in better straits. I don't feel like dealing with that. Crowd despawns when you come back from the basement, I believe. So instead of wasting ammo on them, I'm just going to leave them be. I could grab that board over there to finish boarding up that bottom hallway, but as I stated earlier, that bottom hallway is not really a big fucking deal in Claire times. Claire's got it easy with her heart key, son. Talk about spoiled. But I am going to go ahead and throw some of these boards on here since I'm holding them. Since I'm knowing when to hold them and when to fold them. Between this one, I'd rather board up the other one, because if somehow we get chased through here later by Mr. X, if this window is unboarded, a lot of times there'll be a Fat Chubs either here or right there. And you got to mitigate your Fat Chubs. All right, now that we've done all that, I guess we need to head to the STARS office. Yeah, you crowd are real fucking scary, busting through, pretending you're the arms in RE2. By the way, the first time I played RE2 in my youth, when those arms bust through the wall and grab you, yeah, I'm not going to lie, I was startled. The liquor behind the 2A glass got me too. Shinji Mikami was having the best time watching me from his secret cameras that I assume all Japanese game developers have had in every residence I've ever lived in. Okay. When dealing with Mr. X upstairs, I mean, when dealing with the mysterious entity upstairs that y'all don't know who it is and are not expecting, well, we don't really need anything. We've killed all the enemies. You're like, yeah, and you killed any suspense and entertainment value from your playthrough. Damn, that's harsh. Y'all know just how to attack me when you're made up straw man in my brain. You'll notice there's no liquor here. It's a good thing? Question mark. What could have you been replaced with? Senor X, you low-down dirty scoundrel. I swore I'd bring you to justice one day. He's not allowed here in the STARS office. I've never really looked at the weird paintings that Wesker has in his little office. His little Ron Swanson office that he hides in when he doesn't feel like dealing with Brad. Alright, there's a few things we can grab in here. Cool, made in heaven jackets, but that's for Oni-chans only. Oh yeah, here's a note from Deputy Leon. He's like, we need to get the hell out of here. There's like inside out crazy people with claw hands on the ceiling. It's like, looks like Deputy Kennedy has hit the peyote, eating them cactuses. Alright, Mr. X is waffle stomping around, being a fucking pain in my ass, and my keister, my derriere. So ideally we would just go up here and detonate the C4, but he likes to hang out up there. And it's an easy room for him to corner you in, so you got to be careful. Mr. X. I don't hear any waffle stomping. So we can go ahead and do this. Run through this door so that this bookshelf doesn't fall over. Boosh. Now, even though they play the liquor noise when you're doing this puzzle, luckily one does not spawn. Oh, wait, where was he? The goat plays the harp for the raven. And it's just that easy. I like the B scenario super accelerated route through the RPD here at the beginning. Alright, you go ahead and begin the process of climbing that ladder. Make sure he's not doing a ladder cancel strat to come over here and punch me. Alright, we're good. Everything's a proceeding according to Kai Keku, as they say in the Old West. Thought y'all might enjoy this little cutscene. Alright, and now we finally have a save room with an item box in the middle. Because in the B scenario, they take away the one over there. Also, this doesn't shut behind you. As always, these are good things. Let's do some inventory management before we go dealing with Billy B. What do we want to take into the Billy B fight? Knives and flashbangs are always good for dealing with Billy B. Maybe a first aid spray? Yes, sir. And let's save my game before I inevitably fuck up. Mr. X is not allowed in this room either, because he knows Brian Irons will chew him out. He might be an unstoppable killing machine, but even he doesn't want to deal with Brian Irons. Who could blame him? It is a shame that the quote-unquote A and B scenarios in this remake just have the same boss fights other than the finale. Because, I mean, it doesn't really make any sense that both Leon and Claire ran down here, independently tried to manipulate a bookshelf, or not really even a bookshelf, a utility shelf, and then had Billy B knock this catwalk down and then fought him. Unless, like, The Umbrella crew ran in here and painstakingly rebuilt the area. I wouldn't put it past them. All right. It's going to be by the book, Billy B battling. All right, Billy B. With your gangly eyeball arm. Down here causing problems for the decent, good folk of the Umbrella basement. All right, is he going to grab me? He did. So he's going to get flashbanged. Boosh. And we're going to run over here. Okay, get us some more knives in. That's going to stagger him. Alright, he's probably going to start swinging now, so we need to get a little bit of distance. Yep. Alright. He slapped me, but somehow I didn't take it. Okay, there we go. Alright, this knife didn't really get used that much, but it doesn't matter. Just got to deeps this bad boy down, as they say. Out on the prairie. Yes, sir. I don't really need these knives now, so adios. You served me well. Grab our free ammos and items. I think it's the first time we've took damage. Twin Galaxies is going to be missing out by not hosting this run. Do they even still do anything? I guess there are people that still compete for classic arcade game scores, right? Although, wasn't Billy Mitchell, like, publicly disavowed? I don't know. There was some guy that played, like, that drag racing game on the Atari. That was apparently a big controversy. Who knew? Ripped straight from the headlines, son. Don't worry, little lady. I'll take care of your mutant daddy. Dealing with your hateful bitch of a mom, though, that's on you. I only fight one kind of monsters. I like this color scheme they gave her, son. I'm always a big fan of the warm colors. Or as Strong Bad calls them when playing CGA graphics computer games, the taco seasoning color palette, as opposed to the like 80s one where everything is cyan and teal. Cool, cool, cool. Storing some shit. Alright, we don't actually need all that ammunition in our inventory. So this will let us pick up more items as we go. We'll save so that I don't screw up too badly. I'd say the hardest part, because I've done a couple of practice runs of this so that you kids could get the quote-unquote best experience. But I think the sewers is the hardest part, because if you want to kill G-mutants with this gun, you've got to be dedicated to emptying quite a bit of ammo. I just want to hear Brian Irons' Espanol voice, and then we'll skip the cutscene.
¿Seguro que es por aquí?
Por aquí es donde vine con mi mamá.
¿Sherry? Te he estado buscando, Sherry. Tienes que ser muy valiente para salir con todo este desastre. Al suelo y manos sobre la cabeza.
Son, he got the draw on us, the quick draw.
Vale. Primero la tarjeta y después ese cabrón se va a enterar.
You tell him, Sheriff Claire. That liquor seems to disappear as long as you ignore him. Alright, as long as we just follow the path that I've done in every Claire playthrough of this game so far, we shouldn't have to deal with any of these liquors. I'm just going to pretend that I barely know them. I thought what I'd do was pretend I was one of them deaf mutes. I don't know much about ghosts in the shell, but I can tell a good ghost story by the fireplace. Or the bonfire, I guess, in this instance. Alright, motherfucker. Your knees. Layla called and she wants you on them, son. I'd go ahead and get your darling pleases that you're going to beg. You might want to start rehearsing. This man is being bullied and bodied. Alright. In a rare change of pace, we're actually going to loot these additional lockers. I guess we always do in randomizer, though, don't we? I haven't done a randomizer in a while. You're like, yeah, I know. Son. That, Claire A in the RPD uniform randomizer, son. I never expected it to get the quote-unquote traffic that it's getting. And the number of subscribers that it's brought me. All I can do is apologize to y'all. You're like, finally, a good YouTuber that does RE2 randomizers, and you hit subscribe, and then all of a sudden you're hit with a bunch of fucking Final Fantasy 2 NES playthroughs, and you're like, what the hell is this? I didn't sign up for this. We did it. We actually managed to not wake that gentleman up before we go-goed. We're just going to leave him hanging on like a yo-yo, son. I'm just going to have to miss it when he hits that high. Alright, this fellow needs to notice us. Liquor senpai. What are we going to do in the basement? Liquor Oni-chan. Y'all can sit in here examining each other's butts like Ray Romano's kids. I've got shit to do. Like I've said before, Claire's basement scenario feels like more tense and stressful if you don't know how to properly just ignore liquors, while Leon's is like more actiony with the dogs, but the dogs are an overall less threatening enemy. I think. Is any of this making sense? I'm rambling, so hopefully. Alright, I just want to use up this damn diamond key. And we might as well grab the red herb that's in here, since we're in the area. And we can get out of here before that crowd busts through the door. Kool-Aid Man style. We do want to walk out here, though. Since the liquor hallway. You're like, oh yeah, I'd like the liquor hallway. I'm like, hey. No unnecessary innuendo. This is a Tenfei video, son. We're always professional. Your grandma can always watch a Tenfei video.
Debe de ser por donde vino ese. ¿Ese cabrón es el jefe de policía?
If any of y'all speak Spanish that are watching this, let me know how accurate the subtitles are to what Sheriff Claire's saying. I like the random assortment of shotgun shells on her bandolier. Although, since this outfit was clearly designed for this gun, shouldn't they be like 45 ACP? I don't know much about extended stocks for grenade launchers, because I don't know much about grenade launchers. Imagine if you had a fucking M79 grenade launcher in the Wild West. You'd be like, you want to have a shootout in the street? All right. I mean, it's not going to stop you from getting shot, but it'll leave an impact. Probably be easy to rob trains. You just shoot the... If you shot the engineering car and with a grenade, would it derail the train? I'd like to think it would. Tiger. What's the Spanish word for tiger? Tigre. I'm just going to assume it's tigre and hope that that's not like some kind of horrible offensive term. Maybe I should stop pretending to speak other languages before I do stumble across something to that effect. Cue you telling me how the word Tenfei in your culture is the most offensive thing a human could say. Alright. We need a heart key. I don't know much about jump roping, but I can get me a heart key. How many of you would be able to explain that quote-unquote joke to a first-time 10F viewer? All right, they give you an ass load of ink ribbons, even though we're playing on hardcore mode, so there's no reason for us to worry about not saving. We're going to treat this like people who play Resident Evil for the first time do, and just save every time you see an ink ribbon. Like, I'm not even trying to be insulting. When I played Resident Evil games as a kid, if I saw an item box room and I'd done anything, I saved. They load you down with good shit. Flashbang. We might as well deal with these zombies up here. Let's see how much inventory space, because I want to grab that large gear, as well as the part for that thing. Oh, we go ahead and deal with the zombie, if nothing else. Buddy boy. Ooh. Oh, no. Such intentional missing. There we go. Now, he has a friend coming around the corner, so we need to get him in humbled mode before he shows up. This guy's one of them real resilient zombies. Got a big hit die, son. This motherfucker rolls a D8 plus 3 for his hit die. It's everyone's favorite trope. 10F says role-playing D&D terms, even though he doesn't really play pen and paper RPGs. I watch a lot of YouTube videos that talk about, like, pen and paper gaming. Usually to humorous effect. Like the Joe Cat videos. It's where all my second-hand knowledge comes from. Alright, we can go ahead and use this here. Yeah, we got enough. Because I don't need that knife right there. At least not right this second. There's also a blue herb in here. But we can grab those things when we're running through later. Spoilers. Okay, what's downstairs that we want? The portable safe. I think there might be a box of handgun bullets. That's another thing that's probably for the better that they changed in this remaster. Every box of bullets you find isn't guaranteed like 15 or 30 bullets like it was in the original. You usually just find a handful, especially on hardcore mode. Alright, that liquor's not going to bust through the mirror. Yeah, there they are. Until we grab the portable safe. I don't really need that ink ribbon. I'm spooked solid, son. I'm spooked solid. Son, my knife is too good on startup. It doesn't have enough frames to be punished. Son, wait for the next patch to come out. They're going to nerf Sheriff Claire. Completely ruin the character. Cool. Or the gang. I'd say we got a lot accomplished. So, let's store this. Are we coming up on any liquors that I need that flashbang for? There's the one over on in the east, or no, the west hall outside the evidence locker room. So I do want to hang on to it for him. I could put that in the thing later. Go ahead and mix this. How many handgun bullets do we need? There are 2 zombies outside by the water pump. And I think that's all the zombies we have to deal with. There's a couple upstairs where we're going to be using the lever. But we'll go by another save room before then. So I think we're good. I don't even know if I need this many free inventory slots, but better to have them than to not need them. Know what I mean? In fact, this damn portable safe. We're going to grab the other one. We're going to go buy an item box before we need to use it. Depends on what angle we approach from. All right. There's a lot of logistics to planning out your route in a Resident Evil game. Luckily for Claire, this ladder doesn't break. So how does that work in the zapping system? Alright, we're going to deal with this crowd in the rainy alley. What the hell is that fire escape for, by the way? I guess if you're on the roof, you just have to jump down to it. Hello, lady. The reincarnation of the library bunch lady is what she looks like. And she's clearly funneling all the hate that character had in her heart. Alright, you're doing a damn good job of pretending to be dead, I'll give you that. You want to dance, sir? You ever danced with the red field in the pale moonlight? I thought maybe that would give him some onus to actually come walking towards me instead of whatever the hell it is he was doing. There we go. Okay, you convinced me, son. Just a couple of green herbs hanging out here. Nothing shady going on. We're going to have to form a bucket brigade to put out this fire, partner. Very convenient that that was broken right there to go on top of that, just saying. Also, well, I guess they put that box of bullets right there to simulate in the original game when you would find ammo inside the crashed helicopter. Alright, let's see if we can trick Mr. X into walking away. You just ever so slightly peek around the corner. And if you're lucky, he'll turn around. He'll turn 360 degrees and get the hell out of here. Ah, damn it. So basically, his algorithm, he gets to that corner and has to pick a direction. And if you're lucky, he'll start going the other way, and then you can just kind of amble past him. But if you're unlucky, like we just were, then he turns back and comes towards you. I guess I can grab this now. Good for me. See if he follows us up here or not. Is he upstairs? Okay, yeah, I'd say he he came in here. I don't think he initially noticed us because I didn't hear the music playing. I like to think if he was on the ladder at the same time as you, it'd be like in Dark Souls where you just punch each other's shins and try to deplete the stamina bar so that they fall off. Fun times. Alright, we want to... I completely forgot this green herb was here. Oh, that's right, I didn't want to deal with this hallway because I didn't want to deal with those two zombies that, as I said earlier, have despawned. It's almost like I've played the game more than once in the past. Alright, we want to run over there, use the diamond key, get the second portable safe, and then the safest route is to come back and go through that downstairs office to deal with that liquor in the hallway. You're like, what's that? Something about liquor in the hallway? Your drunk uncle has got to stop watching Tenfei videos now. You're like, I think my drunk uncle Tenfei is the one making the Tenfei videos. Okay, I was going to say, I'm not quite sure where Mr. X is, but he made his presence known. Luckily, as always, we can hide in the STAR's office. This is like the safest feeling, coziest room in the RPD. There are no windows to worry about zombies busting through. You're up on the second floor. All the lights are working. I've never even really noticed this TV up in the corner where everyone watched The Price is Right. And when Wesker wasn't there, like if he had business out of town, you know Barry would bring in Barry would bring in the Sega Genesis to play Gunstar Heroes, but Brad Vickers would bring in his Super Nintendo. He'd be like, I want to play Final Fantasy 3. And Barry would be like, that's not even... Oh, God! When was the last time one of my Classic Stars anecdotes got interrupted by being sucker punched by Mr. X? I was going to say Brad would start ranting about how Final Fantasy 3 is technically multiplayer because you can set a second player to control other characters in the party and also drive the airship. Barry wouldn't have none of it. Alright, we're just going to hang out down here for a minute and gather ourselves. Maybe store a few items for fun. Is there anything we need to be carrying around with us right this second? No, there's not. Alright, let's see where he fucks off to, since the Iron's force field has deflected him. Yeah, nobody's impressed, Mr. X. It is kind of immersion breaking when you think about it. It's probably impossible due to the game coding, but I wonder if anyone will ever make a mod where he can just follow you in any room. That would be legitimately terrifying to play, I'm not going to lie. Alright, sounds like he went upstairs. You know he's just standing out there doing that thing they do in cartoons and humorous movies where you stand in one spot but like make it sound like your footsteps are trailing away. Alright, I think the coast is clear. The coast is toast. We're just going to very calmly... Wonder what these were for. Filling party balloons? How many balloons were they going to have at Leon's damn welcome party? We get to walk through this side of the room. Since we dealt... Oh no, I forgot about how humbled that poor man was. God bless his heart. Howdy, partner. Alright, let's see if I can get behind him and just start knifing. Neat. As long as you can keep hitting him in the ass, he'll get stun locked. That's true for a lot of living things, and lickers are no exception. Once again, your drunk uncle woke up from his alcoholic stupor to be like, what was that about lickers and assholes? I'm like, oh, Jesus. All right, I'm going to do this in one try with no editing. Here I go. You know what? I'm not going to edit it because somehow it just came very easily. So let's see if this one does the same thing. All right, that one took a little bit longer. I'm not a fan of these damn things. Is it really a puzzle? It's more like an annoying Simon Says game. If I can't just remember how to do it with a humorous moon pneumatic device, then it shouldn't count as a puzzle. All right, grab my bonus knife. Grab my bonus fanny pack. And get the hell on. All right, this is going to summon Mr. X. Grabbing key items. Nothing pisses off Mr. X more. Howdy. Alright, there are a couple of zombies up on the 3rd floor by the clock tower, so we're probably going to want a little bit of ordnance to deal with them. Plus, we want Mr. X to calm the fuck down and stop chasing us, so we'll duck in here for but the briefest moment. Alright, let's see. Put you down here. Grab a handful of bullets. We do need that large gear. Has anyone seen my ammunition? That'll work. Hey, buddy. Making some hard life decisions, huh? Alright, good. That should give us just enough time to haul ass to the library, put that bookshelf down, slide them over, and run across. Wonder if we'll ever get to the point where video games, the cloth physics won't clip into each other. I almost ran into him in the same spot as last time. Is this really where your AI told you to go? Or does your AI cheating and knows that I have a key item that's used in this room? Alright, we're going to try climbing down this ladder. We can at least use the thing since time freezes while we're doing it. But we might not have enough time to slide the bookshelves over before he gets down here and rectifies us. Let's try it. Oh no, I forgot. He just jumps down the ladder. We're fine. I like to think the ghosts of the library bunch are giving him additional power in this room. In one final burst of hate. It's like Stinkmeaner in that episode of the Boondocks where he possesses Straight-Laced Tom. Alright, we're going to have to play this room fast and loose. Unfortunately. Because there's one ball-headed zombie is going to immediately be all over us. Jesus, it didn't even knock him down. It's just enough to stagger him so he could run past. Resilient is how I'll describe that man in my memoirs. There'll be an asterisk next to it, and at the bottom of the page, it'll say, also a huge asshole. Resiliency and assholery tend to go together. I'll take your small gear and I'll trade you a large gear.
Funcionó.
I left that cutscene in so that I could have a drink of water. In case you were sitting there with your arms crossed, impatiently tapping your foot like Sonic the Hedgehog. Alright, you're in a pile. Mr. X is over there. He's so ornery, son. You know he was standing there with the most offended look on his face when that door slammed shut. Why you got to hang out over there like a huge asshole? I think I just answered my own question. I love your frame rate, distant zombie. Apparently my bullets despawn before they can get to him. Mr. X did not care for that man and his lack of contribution to Claire Redfield being punched to death, which is the only goal Mr. X respects. Alright, did he finally... Where did he go? I think he went back over there, didn't he? What if he's on the other side of this door? Okay, he's right there. Punch that man! We're going to use Mr. X to take care of that one zombie. Will you just fuck off back to the library? Jesus, dude. He's not. I can hear the cadence of his waffle stomping means he's headed back over there, isn't he? No, he's not. Thank God. All right, the moment he goes through that door, we're going to fucking cheese it, boys. I guess I might as well grab this green herb while I'm here. Hello, fellow. I don't think the bullets we shot at him were wasted. I think they brought us such good times. Good times, bullets. Well, since we're not being chased, I feel confident in running over here and grabbing this knife. These will be useful later when a certain set of gangly gentlemen show up and we need self-defense items to get them the hell off of us. Alright, let's see. I do want to save before doing adventures in Sherry Birkin City, since it's an instant death scenario if you get discovered. Don't mind me, El Tigre. You just keep being muy grande, son. These boxes are just so big. Talk about wasted packaging for these little cubes. Alright, you need to go there. And then you should go that way. And you could go like that. Look at that. Puzzle solving, question mark.
¿Dónde está?
Lo tienes cerca. Lo verás.
Alright. If I'm bad at the little combination safes, the puzzle I'm the worst at in this game is this damn block puzzle. Legitimately embarrassing is how I would describe my performance at this puzzle. I may have to edit shit out for y'all, just so you can still respect me. You wouldn't think it would be that hard, because there's only so many that meet those outside patterns. But I believe this puzzle is random every time you start a playthrough. You have to start the game on a certain frame to get a good seed for this puzzle. I believe there's usually a star and a circle in the middle, right? See, that looks like it should have worked, but then you realize it didn't. That's how puzzle solving goes. So close. It's the almost closeness of it that makes it so offensive. So the treasure of the children of the orphanage, the safety scissors. I guess Sherry wasn't strong enough to just rip that duct tape off of there. Of course, I don't blame her. You ever try to open a package when you didn't have anything to cut the tape with, not even your damn keys in your pocket? Not easy. It's almost like human beings didn't evolve to tear into packages. Don't run. All right. I definitely prefer Ada's sub-scenario in Leon's campaign. But then again, in the original game, the Sherry Birkin sections were the most aggravating, so I guess they had to capture that essence.
Esa debe ser la salida.
Is that so? Donde estás, you say? Ah, yes, la biblioteca. La buncha de biblioteca. Could save the game right here. I forgot about that.
¿A dónde vas, Sherry? ¡Te vas a arrepentir de lo que has hecho!
No me gusta, Señor Irons.
¡Cría estúpida! ¡Por ahí no hay salida!
Escóndete, escóndete, escóndete.
Alright, and now we hide. This is the hardest part of the playthrough is for my left index finger to not get tired from holding the left trigger down, son. Not since Devil May Cry 4 to Infinity has the tendons in my hand been put through so much.
¡Se acabó! ¡La puerta está cerrada! ¿Dónde estás? ¡Sal que te vea! ¡Sé que estás aquí! Cuanto más tarde te encuentre, peor lo vas a pasar.
God, your video game instincts in this scenario tell you that if you get behind him, there'd be an A button prompt to do a stealth takedown, but unfortunately there's not. That's something else that needs to be modded into the game. Give Sherry Birkin one of them Assassin's Creed blades that you've got to, like, cut one of your fingers off for some reason. Is that still a thing? I've never played Assassin's Creed, so I don't know.
¡Maldita sea! Maldita niña.
No más. No más. Por favor.
Es tu última oportunidad. ¡Ven aquí! ¡Ya! ¡Joder! ¡Quema!
Alright, he's not having a bueno time in there in the restroom. La Restroomria, I believe is the term for it. Los Comodos. It should let you lock that door behind you. Because she does that to this door down here, but he just immediately spawns with a hatchet. I wonder if he had it up there as well.
Estoy aquí, Jerry.
He's on you, son.
El juego se acabó. Has cagado.
There we go. I figured we'd end the scenario on a pleasant image.
Me alegro de verte, Claire. Tenemos asuntos pendientes.
Te vas a enterar, cabrón.
I just realized we never actually saved our game, did we? I took that one ink ribbon out specifically to say, well, I'm glad we didn't fuck up. Adios, Senor Tigre. Or Senorita Tigre. Son muy caliente. Alright, I guess we should save our game here. Alright, what do we want to get through the streets? This is where Claire has to start dealing with dogs. Want at least one flashbang to deal with Mr. X, potentially. I guess we could bring a healing item. That's a decent setup. We don't really need that much fucking ammunition. Alright, cool. So getting through the streets here might be a little bit tense for you kids because I don't plan on actually shooting any of the dogs. So for once, you don't have to be sad that doggos are getting shot. But that does mean I have to run past a bunch of dogs and it's real terrifying. So just be ready for that. Look who decided to spawn in the room like a huge asshole. Here you go. You earned it. He ain't pleased. It even went off behind him. But it doesn't matter. It's the sheer audacity that we did it that staggered him more than the actual flash and or bang. Still got to deal with this crowd at the fence. Gun Shop Kendo is not available to us, unfortunately. We don't have Ada Wong here to lockpick the door, and we haven't done the prerequisite quest to get the key. Someone were spamming /LFM and Iron Forge. They're gonna be like, we need somebody with enough lockpicking to get us into Kendo. Feel free to change Iron Forge with Orgrimmar. Or even better, Thunderbluff. If it makes that scenario a little bit better for you. Umbrella. Be a huge asshole at Umbrella. Alright, we gotta deal with this fucking lady. We just need to stagger enough that we can run away. Like true heroes. Alright, this is it. It's time for the dog dash segment. As long as we bob and weave and serpentine, dogs are notoriously unable to handle people who serpentine, son. Straight lines are all they know. See, I was running in a straight line for that brief moment as part of my serpentining, and that's why I got hit. Ain't nothing to it. Alright, I want these dogs to start climbing over the fence. So that way... Oh, they didn't start climbing. That's okay. We just won't get hit. As long as you're not looking at them, they're not allowed to hit you. I believe that's the rules. I'm not going to grab that blue herb. We do got to deal with this guy, though. Cool. Hey, buddy, I see you out there. I'm just going to run. Dogs don't, you know, it doesn't upset them when you randomly start running away from them. They have no desire to chase you. It's one thing I know about dogs. Well, that didn't go too bad, honestly. All things considered. There's an extra first aid spray upstairs in the bathroom. I guess we'll go grab it. I'd hate to worry you kids.
Hola, tengo el colgante. Sherry, ¿dónde estás?
¿Dónde está? Indeed. Boosh. There's more submachine gun and ammo up here. If for some reason you decided to do the Claire Revolver, the Claire Dare Revolver challenge, and then in parentheses featuring the Mac 11.
Por tu culpa. Demasiado tarde.
¿Qué pasa? ¡Oh, Dios! ¡No me toques!
Maldito William.
¡Oh, Dios mío! Dios mío.
Oh, I thought she was going to yell, Jesus Christ.
Sherry, Sherry, ¿estás aquí? ¿Qué? Sherry, voy para allá.
Son, you might want to beat feet there, little lady. You might want to be ondelaying. I honestly don't know what ondelay or reba means. I only know them in the context of Speedy Gonzalez.
Sigue. Sherry, vamos. ¿Qué has dicho? ¿Sherry es su hija?
Son, look at these high-powered revolver bullets. No, sir. Not for me. You know that goes against county ordinance. All right, we got to decide what we're going to take with us down into the sewers. I want at least one of you. We just got to get past those zombies in that room with the locker. So that's really all we need to bring with us. Here, just for peace of mind. I was going to say just for peace of mind for you kids. I'll bring a mixed herb as well. And we'll save, because God knows I can mess things up. It doesn't take much for a 10-phase playthrough to go south real quick.
Sherry, ¿puedes oírme? Ahora voy a oler a mierda, literalmente.
We've got to forge the river. The river of Caca. I'm not going to bother getting Fat Chubs and Skinny Lenny over there to try to blow their legs off, since I'm conserving. Ain't you never seen one of them sewer maintenance cable cars? I declare, y'all. Alright. Equip this. How y'all doing? Enjoy. It's like getting your old-timey picture taken.
Aguanta, Sherry. Ya llegó.
Okay, now that we're down here in the sewers proper, what items do we want? Okay, store you and you. I do need one hand grenade at the very least. See, there are quite a few zombies in our way, so we might as well bring all of our ammo. For now. We're going to be grabbing herbs along the way, so we might not need to bring that. That herb that y'all demanded I put in my inventory just a few minutes ago. Alright, that guy doesn't really wake up if you don't bother him. He is sleeping next to a blue herb, but if you can grab it without disturbing him too much, he usually just keeps laying there. He's an amicable feller. No reason to open that safe since it just has the reinforced frame for our lesser revolver. Thank you, sir. If you step on top of him, I think that's what tends to wake him up. Alright, dealing with Fat Chubs and Skinny Lenny at the bottom of the steps. Every time I throw a grenade, just pretend it's a stick of TNT that Sheriff Claire lit with her cigar. Alright, that gentleman was woken up by our hand grenade, so let's put him back to bed real quick. We got good value out of that hand grenade. 2 Fat Chubs and a Skinny Lenny, son. Talk about value. And pull this down. Now, what order do we want to do this shit with? Go ahead and grab this. Let's think. Do we have enough shit to get through there? Pop that one, run around there, do some shit, do-si-do. We saved our game. If I fuck up too bad, we could just reload. Grab this. Alright, there's an additional zombie right here in B mode that we don't want to deal with later. So let's see if we can't get him good and humbled. Got a little bit of HP, don't you, buddy boy? Alright. I'll believe for now that he's been properly humbled. Alright, here's how we're going to do this. Pop and run past. Hopefully bait this one into doing the double swing. One. Okay, he did the single swing, but that was enough. Fat chubs will spawn right here. Just stagger him. It's not often we get to fan the hammer, son. It's very satisfying. I feel like we left a lot of bad times back there in that hallway. Or waterway, I guess we'll call it. Pre-game your fat chubs is before they animate. It'll save you time and money. Alright, he's going to fall down. We can't get the spark shot, so we're not really worried about him. Because once we jump down here and grab this bad boy, he's trapped. It's a prison of your own making. We corralled that zombie. All that's left is the hog tie and brand him. Might as well castrate him at the same time. That zombies over there sweating bullets, son. Okay, Fat Chubs and the G-Mutant teamed up, apparently. Well, Fat Chubs, you gonna climb up here after me, or what are you gonna do? Fall down like a sack of potatoes? I like it. Please let me run away. Yes, it happened. Alright, hopefully this mutant doesn't spawn right in front of us. If we're lucky. Okay, good. Well, if we can get past this one over here, who's usually quote-unquote free, because all you do is aggro him, jump up here, wait for him to sink back into the misery mire, jump down during his animation, and there we go. Wow, that was by the book. I don't know if I've ever had such a successful run through the cesspool there. The G-Mutant Alley. You can see them down there and they're mad. And that's a good thing. How many items are we about to grab? I'm trying to decide if we need to go dump this shit off. We're going to use up that key, so that's going to disappear. We've got to grab the rook plug. I've wasted enough of y'all's time. We'll just go for it. Grab our free hand grenade over here. That'll be useful upstairs, since there's a whole mess of zombies that need a wrangling. more fancy ammunition that we ain't got nothing to do with. Make sure I have my knife equipped. I've wasted many a grenade on this particular Fat Chubs by running in here and just spamming the sub-weapon button without realizing I had a hand grenade equipped. It's always embarrassing. We have no reason to grab the secret film because that just leads to spark shot needles and the extended mag for the submachine gun. Which I must once again point out we ain't got nothing to do with. Alright. What are you crowd getting up to in here? He should fall down. We'll wait for him to stand up, and then we'll aggro all three of them. Now that's a plan. Hey, y'all. Why don't you come over here and say hey? You just gonna amble by without saying howdy? Boys, that Fat Chub's almost had us. I mean, I weren't worried, but I bet you kids at home were. How nice of the both of you to come in here and join me. That didn't quite play out the way I wanted it to. What happened was this ball-headed motherfucker lunged at me faster than I was expecting. And so I couldn't aggro the second Fat Chubs to start ambling towards me. See where this guy is. Okay, he's over there. Minding his own damn business like he should be. Hell yeah. What are you guarding? Well, if I want to use that key up, I need to get past him. And there is a knife over there. But all that's in that room is a big gunpowder and some ink. You know, I've never lifted that with him on it. We are going to pop in here for some free handgun bullets. But yeah, we don't really have a reason to return to the RPD. So we'll just keep on keeping on. That zombie is going to follow us down here, now that I'm thinking about it. But there's one G-mutant here in this little waterway. That it's pretty easy to get around if you get them to pop in and out of the water enough times. But the problem is there's some 45 ACP ammo over there where Leon jumps down into the sewers that we're going to miss out on, unfortunately. Keeping our eyes peeled for that zombie. Who is probably chasing us. Alright, G-Mutant, you still down here causing me misery and woe? Yeah, there he is. Alright, if we can get him to do the double swipe. So 1, 2, and then you can run past him. He's probably going to start spitting babies at us. So let's just keep running. And hopefully we'll have enough time to do-si-do here in this little side corridor and grab our free bullets. Over by the Caca waterfall. Hope no Caca demons spawn down here. I don't know much about ripping and tearing demons. Say, Doom Caco demon joke for you kids at home. Alright. Man. I talked about the sewers being difficult, but that is the best sewers run I've done. Even with that fuck up with the zombies and their grenades a few seconds ago. Son, that was by the book. The chief of Tenfei ain't gonna have nothing to say to me. He's like, you missed a knife, idiot. Dumbass. Lowering the difficulty adjust. That's why you're intentionally missing your headshots. If you're done spinning me this bullshit yarn, get the hell out of my office. Boys. When the chief yells, get the hell out of my office, that's how I know I've won the conversation, son. It's when he sits there with his arms crossed, refusing to say anything and glaring at me. And anytime I, like, go to slightly stand up out of the chair, he just yells, where the hell you think you're going? That's when I know I'm in for it, boys. Okay, store a couple of things until we figure out what we're doing. Alright, unfortunately I don't have this B scenario of these plugs memorized, but I do got a missive that came to me through the Pony Express, through Western Union, telling me where to plant these plugs. So let's see, in the B scenario it's Queen, Bishop, King. On the other side is Pawn Rook Knight. Okay, apparently I'm
Esto no es mi
pawn.
fuerte.
Oh, I think I have these two backwards. Excuse me, how embarrassing. There we go. All right. This fight, the Billy B. Craneyard fight, I'm bad at that just during normal gameplay. So whenever I do one of these challenge runs, it's always that much harder for me. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and come down here and grab these items and save my game. That way, you know, if I fuck up and have to reload, I won't have to do this over and over. If Bane were here, he'd be so disappointed because, remember, the only way Bruce Wayne got out of that fucking hole was when he had the courage to not have the safety rope tied to himself. I figured a Dark Knight Rises reference would get you kids back on board with the playthrough. That's hip and relevant, right? I'm cool. I'm hip. Alright, what do we want to fight this man? Lots of good shit. That's the plan. I don't really want to use any of my hand grenades on him. So, now we could use the hand grenade to get him when he's in the fiery room. But y'all know I tend to fuck that up. So, I say. We'll just go in there with this. Luckily, if we save our game, then if I die, it doesn't count. Y'all don't get to think I'm bad at the video game if I save first. Checkmate. Son, Billy B hates it when you turn the power back on, son. Light bill be sky high. I'm just gonna stand right here for a minute and be amicable. Don't mind me. How y'all been? Had any good chips and salsa lately? Any decent queso dip? Are you just about the refried frijoles, son? They're good for your cabeza. I don't know the Spanish word for heart, so I'm just going to say cabeza. Your heart is like the head of your inner self, so that's how that works.
Sabía que no morirías.
Alright, just don't be scared that he's right behind you and going to grab you. Alright, let's get this shit show rolling. We're going to have to kill him. I wasn't nervous, by the way, were you? We're going to have to kill him with this shipping crate. I really don't feel like emptying all of my damn 45 ammo in him. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. Hey, Billy B. How you doing? I don't mind using a few bullets to stagger him, though. Ideally, you want to hit him with the knife as much as you can, but yeah, he's got 360-degree no-scoping going on in here, so yeah, it's not as easy to do as it is during the other Billy B fights, unfortunately. If you can get him to do the overhead slam, that'll usually put him down long enough. Like that. Oh no, he didn't do the actual slam part of it. Alright, here's the plan. Slap this button. You're real impressive, Billy B. Everyone thinks you're real fucking scary. I don't think it's gonna work. Nah, I'm probably gonna get killed. Yeah, okay. I got greedy trying to knife him. That was what really went wrong with that one. So let's load our game real quick. Have I mentioned recently how y'all aren't allowed to look down on me? Because I properly saved my game first. I'll speed up through these standing in the room waiting for Billy's arm to get wore out part for y'all so you ain't got to deal with it over and over. How's that sound? A mighty fine compromise, I imagine. Alright, Billy, let's do-si-do again.
Sabía que no morirías.
Technically, he didn't beat me last time. It was the crane. 'Twas loading yard crane that killed the beast. As I said, it is very satisfying to shoot him in his big eyeball. Okay, hitboxes, son. I didn't know you were a Dark Souls 2 boss. Damn, I didn't even have a chance to open my inventory.
Sabía que no morirías. Tengo una sorpresa para ti. siento, Sherry. Estoy tardando demasiado.
All right. That took a few attempts. I finally managed to do it, even though you all saw I was clearly cheated out of that the third hit. But what can you do, son? That's just the way things go in the Old West. All right, get Sherry Birkin in the cable car. We got to get her on the next train
Annette dijo que estaba
to San Francisco, son. She needs to see a city doctor. This ain't no rattlesnake bite. You can't just suck the G virus out of the bite hole, which I've heard that doesn't actually work with venom. Maybe the symbiote. That's what Peter Parker should have done when he got the black symbiote on him. And he was like, I got to get rid of this thing or else I'm going to crush the Shocker with a metal door. Or is it the Rhino? I can't remember. Son. I bet Felicia Hardy would be willing to suck the symbiote off of him. I don't believe I left anything. So let's get this train going. There ain't no getting off of this train. Son, when are they going to mod Revolver Claire Redfield into Final Fantasy VII?
No salga hasta el destino final.
Luckily, I had this fancy jacket in my saddlebags that I could give little Miss Birkin here.
Vamos a curarte. Aguanta, Sherry.
Don't worry, we'll get you some ethers and tonics. The Old West was like a JRPG in that they had, you'd go to the doctor and he'd give you an ether or a tonic. And you'd be like, Doc, I ain't trying to restore my MP. Son, my leg's broke. I'm still doing it from Madden.
Bienvenidos al Est. Disfruten de su visita.
There you go, dramatic scene. An ID wristband. I ain't got no ID wristband. You'll notice they try to give you the grenade launcher here if you completely skipped it. In Leon's game, it's a shotgun. Oh, I always have to comment on the poor technician who was only a few slices into his pizza before the viral outbreak happened. That's the greatest tragedy of the whole story. All right, let's see. What can we drop off in here? Drop off you. I do want to save. Guess we might as well carry that ammo with us. We've looped around the Ouroboros of the save file system. Honestly, I don't foresee us having as difficult a time with the final two Billy Birkin fights. That Crane Yard one is probably the hardest boss fight in the game, I think. All right, this fucking room. He's over there. We're going to grab this hand grenade. He's going to come stumbling towards us. We're going to ignore this ass eater. I think I met your brother. Was he in the library bunch? Did he also enjoy consuming the ass? Manger la derriere, as they say in some parts. Alright, one of Hunk's boys is here, and he's fucking armored. Which means... Okay, yeah, there he was. We got to take him down with coordinated headshots. I like to think he was a member of Hunk's team that when Hunk went down there to get the G-Virus with the others, he was like, well, I ain't got to fucking worry. They've sent fucking Hunk, Mr. Death himself. So I'm just going to go hang out in the cafeteria. And then, of course, shit went down. Will you fucking stumble in here? My God. Oh, no, the difficulty adjust. I did it all for the difficulty adjust. All right, we can take him down, boys. There we go. See? If the difficulty adjustment hadn't been lowered by my intentional misses, we wouldn't have gotten that crit headshot. It's OS detector. Although it can be set to detect other variables. I'm wiggling my eyebrow. Okay, we don't want to go anywhere near that door, because if we do, all those zombies we aggroed in there are probably hanging out. Yeah, look at them. They're dying for me to open that door. We're actually going to run out and run right back in. Hold on, I have to adjust my headphones.
Doctor Lee, el jefe Cartwright le necesita urgentemente en el área este.
Because spoilers, in the B scenario, they immediately give you the muff detector. You're like, the what? And your friend's like, I remember my first 10 Fay Resident Evil 2 playthrough. Good times. Good times. How many of you all, your first 10 Fay Resident Evil 2 playthrough was the original 10finity that I did with Tommy? Son, that's how you know you're OG. Alright. Set this thing to us. Wiggle them around a little bit. There we go. The nice thing about this is we immediately get the final inventory upgrade. So I'm going to grab that. We'll leave Dr. Lee there. I always assume that's Dr. Lee. I think the environmental storytelling indicates that it is, but could be wrong. Could just be my fan fictions. I see y'all in there hanging out around the door. Not the ass eater, though. At least somebody in there's got fucking integrity. Okay. So there's one main obstacle we have to deal with in the lab. And I'm sure all of y'all know who I'm referring to. A particular enemy type that, unfortunately, we don't have any incendiary 45 ammo. We haven't enchanted our revolver with fiery. I wonder how that would work if you took a modern, fully automatic weapon into the Warcraft world and then enchanted it with, like, fiery. Well, you can't enchant ranged weapons. At least not with fiery, I don't think. I don't know how the hell World of Warcraft works anymore. Apparently neither do those people at Blizzard. If the subscriber count is anything to indicate. Okay, what do we want to take down in here into the bowels of the facility? A couple of these would be good to have for no particular reason. Saving our hand grenades for the final Billy B encounter. Feel free to experiment if you're staggering your saves, son. Uh-oh. Looks like we've wandered into the territory of the Gangleman Gang. The problem with the Gangleman Gang is, since we have no way to burn them up, we can't permanently defeat them. So we're just going to have to run around them. And if we get grabbed, that's why we've got all these extra knives. Dio Brando doesn't even, like, pay attention to the Ganglemen because he's got so many knives to knock them off of him with. No, I'm not looking at my piece of paper. Yes, I have these remembered. All right, good. I'll take your cartridge. What if this thing, instead of this formula cartridge, it spit out a Neo Geo cartridge? We could just put it in a bed sheet and twirl it up and make it into a flail and beat Billy B to death with it. It would have so much mass. They're very big cartridges is the joke I'm trying to get across. All right. Hopefully we can avoid the Ganglemen, and if we do have to have a direct confrontation, we can just shoot their gangle balls and run past. In the B scenario, just start with blue and just keep going left and wrap around, and you'll get it every time. start with the red one in the A scenario. We have to watch this entire process play out for some reason. They let you skip the little robo arm in the chili room. But not this one. This one's too vital. The turtle man over here is guarding us a hand grenade. Unfortunately, we can't do much with big gunpowders. Alright, Ganglemans. I don't want no trouble, you hear? Why don't you just gangle your ass out of town? Okay, can he follow you in here? I've never, like, actually studied the behavior of these Ganglemen. Because I usually have a flamethrower or a flame grenade launcher. Actually, for the... Okay, he de-leashes when you walk in here, so I guess they can't follow you into that room. Got it. Alright, we do need to get around him, though. Pop them gangle balls. They can't go down this ladder either, at least as far as I know. You're like this from the guy who famously thought that the tentacle dogs in the Resident Evil 4 hedge maze couldn't follow him through the gate. Is that the original Tenfei highlight, or is Frank's guns the original Tenfei highlight, son? Tenfei's story would still argue about it to this day. Lady, I can't have you stumbling around on your zombie legs. I got shit to do. I got Billy Bees to fight. We don't want to aggro both of these guys at once, so try to just hit this man, preferably on the cheek of the ass. You ain't dead. He's very good at faking it. It's like that scene at the end of Naked Gun 2 where Frank Drebin incorrectly thinks that the professor in the wheelchair, Dr. Mannheimer, is that his name? Is the imposter they replaced him with. And he tries to, like, sand buffer the... He has a birthmark in the shape of the Whistler's mother on his ass cheek. Have you all seen the Naked Gun movies? Son, if Will Smith is watching and wondering how he's going to welcome the aliens from Independence Day, we'll set this thing to Earth. Son, that'll take care of it. And there we go. I was going to say I need one hand grenade, but then I remembered that Turtle Man had a hand grenade for me. Horseshoes sold separately. Don't know why, I just feel like staring at the ceiling in here. Not that I'm anticipating anything. Uh-oh, I'm spook solid. Get smoked, y'all. Slashing these liquors to death. They're extra crispy, too. They do look a lot like barbecue chicken off the grill when you blow them up with a grenade. I'm just saying. Don't need the tentacle dildo trophy, since we, you know, quote-unquote, had the codes memorized. I didn't know if she was going to make a reference to Choco Tacos, but she didn't. Yeah, little arm, you're real cool.
Enfriamiento completado.
So that lady animates only if you mess with her as well. There's a lot of passive zombies in the game, when you think about it. Alright, we don't... Oh god, what just happened? My computer did that thing where the screen went black for a second, so let me make sure the audio's still in sync. L-R-R-C-O. Huh. Well, hopefully the recording didn't fuck up. Hopefully this doesn't get added to the long pile of lost Tenfei playthroughs due to technical difficulties. Boys, y'all would openly weep if you knew of all the tragic loss of unreleased, unfinishable 10F content. All right, we're going to need some of those knives back, but I'm just trying to keep things organized. Because what are we grabbing right now? Just that chip. So I think we're good. Let's save just in case I fuck up. We ain't going for no S+ rank, partner. I'd like to think the difficulty adjust of this playthrough stays fairly low because it takes into account like the amount and types of ammo you have, I believe. So if we're just running around with this damn revolver and a few self-defense items, it ain't got nothing to do with us. Alright, I can hear y'all gangling about. So undecent. I wish this Agent Orange shit you sprayed in there to kill these plants affected the ganglemen. I like to think this is somehow a reference to that weird green gas you could release in the original Resident Evil 2. The like anti-bio-mutant gas that like makes enemies weak temporarily but then stronger in the B scenario or something. Just more zapping system shenanigans. Alright, we're just going to try to run past all these ganglemen. I don't see anything going wrong. Bubsy himself would declare what could possibly go wrong. Alright, run. Shoot gangle balls. And there you go. The gangle do-si-do, we call it. Now, there's going to be one in here, so we need to swerve a hard fucking left to avoid him. And, of course, the original two, the OG Ganglemans, are in here. Got your gangle balls, boy. Well, there you go. Not too bad. Our journey through the gangle pits were fairly uneventful. Yeah, we had no reason to go up those steps and activate that shortcut since we got early muff detector. I hope whenever you go to show all your friends 10F Resident Evil 2 playthroughs, you give them like a primer that includes terms such as fat chubs and muff detector. Context is very important when you're watching a 10F video. Look underneath this video and see if there's one of those asinine little gray boxes that YouTube puts under videos that explains the signal modulator and how it has a setting of MUF. Alright, this hunk boy's got a grenade for us. And we need to set this to alls. As always, they leave it blank at the beginning for you to insert either a P or an M based on preference. Okay. We're doing it. We're modulating that signal, boys. There it is. Son, it's lit up so nice. I wonder why they make you use that there, because you can't get to this room without the signal modulator. So it's not like they've got to gatekeep it. Maybe it's just an excuse. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Game Maker's Toolkit will do a 2-hour video on it. I wonder why this room has a giant lift platform in the middle when you think about it as well. A lot of strange esoteric architecture goes on at Umbrella, I find. Alright, let's get our Billy B battling loadout set up, and then we'll save our game. Alright, just store everything and go from there. So, if we're going to use flashbangs to any avail, this would be the fight. And see how many fat heals we can generate. Put you here, you here, you and you. Because there's a bunch of items in the room as well. But we can't, there's a bunch of 45 ammo, so that's good. There's a couple of grenades we can grab, and there's at least one first aid spray down there. So, we don't need a ton of inventory space. So we might as well grab what we can. In fact, just take that instead of one of these. There we go. As far as these knives go, he can jump on you and like pin you down. And I wouldn't want to stab him with my infinite knife when that happens. So I guess we'll bring a few of these with us. The only other use these are going to have is during our final escape. We can stab the Ganglemen in the hallway. I believe you have to have this in your inventory. Yeah, to make that door open. So you can't leave the armband like you can during the final fight.
Joder. Mira esto. Vale. Por fin. Lo tengo. Gracias a Dios. El agente antivírico. He de volver con Sherry.
Getting me another drink of water, in case you're wondering why I'm leaving in cutscenes. I need to leave in cutscenes to get potential thumbnails for this playthrough, now that I'm thinking about it.
¿Otra vez tú? ¡William!
I can't leave that cutscene in because she's wielding her default revolver. I said she would never touch again. The cutscene made me a liar. It's not my fault. Luda narrative dissonance. Avenge me. I guess I'll go ahead and grab this and these. Hey, Billy B. You look real mad that I'm looting all these items. It's like stealing office supplies, son. You don't want to do it in front of William Birkin, boys. You get your ass chewed out. The ass-eating zombie perks up, and I'm like, it's a metaphor. Goddamn, boys. Billy B. Billy B. Everybody loves to fight Billy B. Billy B. Williams. Alright, this is a good chance to get some cutting in. With our cutting iron. Unfortunately, we don't have acid rounds to keep him stun locked. His, like, elemental weakness. He's mad. Eyeball popping, son. He's gonna throw that fucking thing. This is an excuse to loot some more items while he's in the middle of that. Loads of ammo. Yeah, you're real mature, aren't you? Throwing your big fucking tantrum. You're a big man, aren't you? I can't hit shit. That weren't. I can't even lie to y'all. That was just me straight up fucking up for 5 or 6 bullets. Damn. Takes a lot to pop one of them fucking things these days. Back in my day, we could pop an eyeball with a whisper and a prayer. The thigh eye is the weakest eye. Everybody knows it. Hell yeah, buy the book, Billy Bean. Alright, hopefully this should get him to phase 3. I've got enough HP to justify sitting here and tanking an additional hit if he decides to come at me. But I think he's going to go over there and try to throw that big fucking pillar like he always does. And that'll be our excuse to get some more cuts on him. Alright, now we haul ass. Vamos, mi amigos. You done doing your shit fit waltz, we'll call it? Unfortunately, he has no more, you know, big eyeballs to pop, so we just got to try to shoot him in his solar plexus there. Yeah, you're real fucking cool, aren't you, Billy B? You're a big man, a Billy B shot. We don't want to use all our ammo because we do need to save some for his final form, so I'm more willing to sacrifice healing items by just trying to go board him neckbone style here. Deeps racing. Tanking spanking you, Billy B. What are you going to do about it other than bitch start me? Oh, God. I was going to say, I got to get the damn menu open before he hits me again. Hit me, Billy, one more time. A shit fit. He's got to be close to dead, y'all. Especially as much as I'm getting my ass beat, that difficulty adjust has got to be moved down at least a little bit. Oh, Billy B. Don't Billy B like this. Maybe he has to be finished with the revolver. There we go. He wouldn't accept anything else. And there you go. By the book, Billy B. And not an easy sentence to say, I have to admit. Alright, we've got a couple of grenades laying around in here that we need. Those are spark shot needles. I don't spark shot need them. I guess I'll take your flashbang. Oh, I should have used... I don't know if he even gets stunned by flashbangs, honestly. I really should have tried them. I heard you, lady. My God. Calm down. Here, let's just get full health. We're not going to be able to carry all those full heals we have into the final battle, so there's no reason to hoard one. Flashbangs for days. I didn't miss anything over here. No, that was where the first aid and the bullets were. All right. I don't know if there's any more 45 ammo in the game. So we might just have to make do with what we got. We got to hold on to what we've got, son. Even though it doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. But at least we've got each other. And that's a lot for Resident Evil 2 themed playthroughs. We'll give it a shot. There's no ink ribbon here. There's an ink ribbon during the fiery escape. So that's where we'll save again. Well, the playthrough's going pretty good. Other than, you know, fucking up so many times fighting Crane Yard Billy. My elemental weakness. It's like Pokemon. If you pick Gunslinger Claire as your starter, you do really good till you get to the Crane Yard Gym and go up against Crane Yard Billy B.
Sherry, ¿puedes ir más rápido? Sí. Odio meterte prisa, pero debemos irnos.
I don't want to rush you, but I'm also going to run away, so you need to keep up with me.
Salgamos de aquí ya.
Use el ascensor central para evacuar inmediatamente al andén inferior. Atención, secuencia de autodestrucción inicial.
We'll let them have their elevator heart-to-heart, son. Sherry lived a hard life, son. She deserves a chance to rest.
¿Claire? ¿Sí? Gracias por ser tan buena conmigo, por ayudarme. Me alegra haberte conocido. Yo también me alegro, Sherry. Pero no me des las gracias hasta que te saque.
She's like, shucks, it ain't nothing, little lady. I need a tip hat emote button that I could press. So many knives and so many heals. Alright, let's do another staggered save. We're just going to haul ass past the Ganglemen, because if they grab me, damn if I ain't got self-defense items to burn. Pardon me, sir. I declare. Wow. Never had such an easy time just kind of running around them. Also, I guess they ignore Sherry. The most hurtful thing they could do. Let's instantly teleport her here. Alright, we're going to have to deal with 2 Ganglemen falling down here while Sherry skedaddles through the vents. But I believe we can actually cut their Gangle Balls. So we're going to try it. Gangle Ball Cutter. It's one of my secret advanced techniques that I learned out on the range. Oh, I could always forget. This is the part where you fall down, Senor Gangleman. There we go. There's a box of ammo laying over here. Like I completely forgot. Good for us. Alright, Sherry. I'm bored with this crowd. Could you just get the door open, please? Well, thank you. You're a peach and a cobbler. I'm going to use this knife. There's a guy on this bridge who has like 1 HP, so if you shoot him once, he falls down, but I'm just going to hit him with this fucking knife for fun. I guess it makes you shoot him too. I guess that knife doesn't deplete his 1 HP. You keeping up, Sherry? If you stop to think about it, we're above where Leon fights Mr. X at the end of the game. Alright, we just have to save 2 inventory slots for the plug. So what do we want to take with us? We don't need any extra knives. I don't know if this phase of Billy Birkin has any grab moves that you would need a knife to get out of. Actually put these at the top. Like so. Are you enjoying my Xbox One controller clicking and a clacking, son? Do you listen to Tenfei videos when you're going to sleep and that's how you get lulled off, is by the clicking and the clacking? Unfortunately, that's all the good shit we can bring. Because, like I said, we need those 2. Even though we're not going to be using the minigun that they give Claire here at the end of the game. Well, there's no reason to take these over the RGB heals. So, there we go. Let's do this shit, boys. I took the long route around the tram.
¿Qué estás haciendo? Tengo que mover este tren. Necesito que te quedes aquí, ¿vale?
Vale. No me moveré.
Bien.
Ten cuidado.
Siempre.
Son, we got to get the steam engine a-going on this locomotive. That ain't the biggest fucking revolver I've ever seen. Is that more than one action? Is that double action?
Bien. Vale, ha hecho algo. Bien. Funciona.
¡Claire!
¿Qué? ¿Leon? ¿También estás aquí?
Sí, pero todo se viene abajo.
I had to skip that cutscene when I realized due to the rendering, Deputy Kennedy didn't have his deputy's hat on since it put him back in his default skin, and I wouldn't have none of it. That's a dereliction of duty as far as Sheriff Redfield's concerned. Alright, so this motherfucker, the gimmick with him is you're not really depleting his HP by shooting him. You have to pop all of those eyeballs in his chest, and that's what depletes his HP. So it doesn't matter how powerful a weapon we use against him, as long as it busts those eyeballs, which, spoilers, the knife is capable of. So if things get too dicey, we can still technically beat him. But grenades are very useful for this as well. You know what else is useful for it? A fucking minigun, but unfortunately, we don't currently have access to one. A Gatling gun, I believe Sheriff Redfield would refer to it as. When he bounces off the wall like that, you can usually get some cheeky knife slashes in there if you don't go into knife mode too quickly. I feel like they designed this boss just for Claire to be able to fight efficiently with the single action army, since it's more about volume of bullets than it is about individual power. Think you're something, don't you, Billy B? I can't believe he didn't hit us right now. There we go. I was wondering when I was going to take damage for the first time. Let's not take any chances and get our buffs up. Here you go, sir. You earned it. Alright, he's probably going to climb up the wall. You want to keep the train between you and him when he tries to jump from the top ropes on the turnbuckles. Damn! Didn't do a good job of dodging him that time, did I? Yeah, I was going to say, because I'll be recovering, I'm about to get hit, but that's okay. We got heals for days, baby. Oh, we got him on his knees, son. Have we humbled him? I think so. Good. During this phase, you can kind of get behind him. Just like the zombies. Fighting the zombies throughout the game was teaching you how to properly fight this form of Billy B once you get him down on his knees, son. There ain't no thing to it.
Tranquila, estoy bien. Nos vamos de aquí. ¿Qué quieres hacer cuando salgamos de aquí?
Quiero ver dónde vives.
Bien. Porque yo necesito una ducha.
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Tan mal? No sé.
Claire,
¡Leon! Me alegro de verte.
te dije que lo conseguiríamos, ¿no?
Lo hiciste.
Y ella.
Esta es Sherry.
Hola. ¡Dios!
¿Qué fue eso?
No sé.
Quédate con Sherry, voy a comprobarlo.
All right, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about, but I reckon we oughta take a gander at the end of this train car and see what's happening in the caboose. See if your caboose is loose. Bonus knives. And a big gunpowder, if I had use for such a thing. And here's where I'd put 9mm bullets, if I had a gun that used them. Not that I'm worried, but let's be at the other end of the train, shall we?
Tenemos que dejar de vernos así.
Hold on. Just had a brilliant idea. Where is the display? There we go. Thumbnail potential, you see.
Espero que te gusten las balas, porque tengo un montón. ¡Joder! ¿Cómo es que sigues pataleando? Como digo, sin piedad.
¡Hay que soltar el vagón!
¡Adiós, cabrón!
¡Dame la mano!
Entonces, ¿vosotros sois pareja?
No. Nosotros nos conocimos anoche.
Sí. Pero menuda primera cita habría sido.
Sí, desde luego.
Mirad, quizá nos podría llevar.
¿Y si ha afectado a más?
Llévate a Sherry.
Vamos.
Escuchas a The Grey con Live Another Day.
Fue amable.
Entonces, ¿se acabó?
No sé. Pero si no, como sea, lo detendremos.
De eso puedes estar seguro.
Si estamos juntos, irá bien. Vamos.
¿Podríais adoptarme?
¿Adoptarte?
Tendremos un perrito
¿Un perrito?
y un loro.
Un loro. Genial.
Mamá no me dejaba tener mascotas.
Y ahora en este triste miércoles tenemos algo que hervirá tu sangre.
Well, there you go, son. It was just that easy. Hopefully y'all had a good time. Shared a few laughs. Could have been more efficient, you know, could have played better, but in the end, we still had an excess of resources. So we still had leeway for fuckery, as game developers know it, son. I'm sure there's been a GDC talk on it. Well, there you go. I guess until I play RE2 again for some reason, I'll see y'all on the next one.